welcome to my channel, Stash the Cash. My name is Mrs. Lex. On this channel, I will be talking about saving challenges tried and tested. I will be checking in every other week in addition to story time, just to encourage and inspire, because you know sometimes when you say something to someone, sometimes they need a bit of coaxing and encouragement along the way. And I'll also be talking about anything new that I'm going to add to my existing challenges. So today in this video, I'm actually just checking in. I mean, not a lot may not have happened in 2 weeks, but I think it's nice to be there for your subscribers or viewers or watchers, just to keep it real and just to show them that, you know, you really want to be there for them. You really want them to maybe try and just be a part of something that will grow. You know, tell a friend, and tell another friend. So today I'm going to talk to you about the penny challenge. In my very first video, I spoke about the penny challenge, and I had said that when I started it, when I finished it, and obviously when you have mastered something and you know how to do it, as basic as it might seem, you want to follow. So today I just want to show you that I have started another penny challenge, and I have it here. You can see it's a printable, and as you may have noticed, I've started at the very back, the larger figures. So I'm ticking those boxes. So I thought I'd try it that way, and you know, so far, and I've been putting the coins in this jar. And I said in my very first video that because my bank won't take loose coins, you have to bag them in bags like these. When it reaches a certain amount, then you just bag it, 5 bags a day. And so I don't usually have a lot of coins. As soon as it's 5 and it's in the amount required, I take it and I bag it and then I log it. So that is what I do, and that is what I will keep doing because it worked pretty well the first time. And something that works well and I'm seeing like a positive result, I'm going to repeat it. And also to inspire anyone out there that might be thinking, oh, it's a waste of time. It's not a waste of time when your pounds add up. And we know that pennies and pounds have use. So that's the penny challenge. The next challenge I want to talk to you about is the £5 note challenge. It is actually in here. And every time I get a fiver, it goes through my hands, I put it here. Now the reason why I have this lot of £5 notes with a band around it is because I will be checking in every 3 months. So that is 3 months worth of fivers. And I'm now going to do another 3 months, but obviously this is only 1 month of fivers. So the proof is here. It's real. Maybe little to some, but it's going to add up by Christmas, and that's that. So that goes in there and I tuck it away. So I just wanted to check in. I've got my ongoing jar, which the Queen's tin. Every time I get a £2 coin, I put it in the Queen's tin. £2 coins only. I know roughly what is in here because every time I put £2 coins in there, I log it off. And I know that in 1 month, around £30 went in this. And it all adds up. But what I really wanted to talk to you about is the envelope challenge. And a lot of you may have heard about the envelope challenge. And I've heard other people say they do it a different way. And I said in my very first video that I tried it, didn't do too well, fell on my face, didn't continue. And personally, I don't like the word failure. Yeah, I want to try something and I want to master it. Why not? And I know that sometimes the way one person does something might not be suitable for all people, because we have different expenses, different lifestyle, different payment dates. Some may have young children, some may have grown-up children, you know, the bank of mum and dad that still exists for a lot of people. So sometimes you're not able to maybe slot cash in envelopes and leave it where it's supposed to be. But one of the reasons why I thought I would start the envelope challenge once more is because I have had a change in income, and I know a slight change in income, and I know what I'm going to be left with once all my household expenses have been taken out. So you've got your household expenses and your utilities, your food, your personal payments, you know, like your mobile phone. I actually give to charity. So, you know, you've got your direct debits and so forth. So once all of that is done, whatever I've got in the bank, I actually want to slot it into an envelope. But it's not so much slotting the amounts in an envelope, it's the envelope challenge my way. So what I've done is, I know that once all my expenses have gone out all my monthly expenses have been done and dusted, I know roughly that I'm going to have £400 left. So what I've done is I've gone and purchased some reusable envelopes. They're like these. And in each of them, I have slotted £100. And that is what I will have in my bank account. I'm not going to leave it in my bank account because I don't want it in my bank account, because I don't really want to spend it. I thought, let me slot it in envelopes. So that is what I've done. And what I intend to do is £400, so it's 4 envelopes. And what I intend to do, I intend to keep these envelopes for 2 months. Hopefully, during those 2 months, if I don't need to pull one or take one out to maybe do something, or something's happened, or somebody needs something, I would sink it into like a sinking fund, a bigger fund. But what I intend to do is, I've got these 4 envelopes. So they each have £100 in them. And I'm going to try and keep them for 2 months. If after 2 months I don't have to use it, then it's going to go into a sinking fund. A sinking fund to do something significant. And the reason why I was thinking that way is because I think it's really simple. I don't like counting lots of money. I really don't. I like to keep things as simple as possible. But my sinking fund really is around my grown-up children, because when you have grown-up children, there's always a need somewhere, somehow. And they're both at uni, and that's going to come to an end shortly. So you have to be ready for anything. They both have different visions, and as a parent, you want to be able to assist them with something or anything that arises. So that is my plan. But in the meanwhile, I have these envelopes, and if 2 months rolls by and I don't have to touch them, that would be good. But if something happens and I have to pull 1 or 2, there's an emergency or crisis, I'm not going to beat myself up about it, because the greatest thing is you have it. It's not a loan. You haven't borrowed it. So if you have to part with it, it's not going to cost you anything. I have One of my youngest son is actually a millennium baby. And I think that sometimes when you speak to youngsters of the 21st century, I think they are microchipped in a different way. Sometimes when I tell him something, he just laughs because I think he thinks it's mediocre. Because I think they think big, they think large. You know, the world's our oyster, and so it should be. But I still believe that small steps are better than no steps. The greatest thing is to try. I mean, it would be very easy for me to say, oh, well, your income's changed. You're going to have a couple of hundred, leave it in the bank. Each week, each month or each week you could go and buy something. But how much do you need? How much do you want? How much will you use? That's a question. I don't think when you're retired that you need that much. I don't think those things are as important. I know it's nice to go out and buy things. I know that shopping is therapy for some. It used to be therapy for me, but I think sometimes you have to stop and think, you know, how much money goes through your hands. There was a time when I thought to myself, I actually don't have much. But once I became an active challenger, stroke saver, I realised that actually I'm not doing too badly. I'm really not doing too badly. So I don't think we should beat ourselves up about we don't have enough. You know, start today, slot a fiver, get a tin, get a jar, slot some envelopes. Whichever way, I mean, there's different strokes for different folks. But for me, numbering envelopes, it just wasn't doing anything for me. I think that just some reusable envelopes. I know what I've got. I know that there's 4 envelopes. I know how much it's going to be. I want to keep it as simple and as real as possible. And most important, I want to be very, very honest with my viewers. I want to keep it real. I want them to see that, you know, maybe even if you can't slot 1 envelope, maybe you could lower the amounts. It doesn't have to be 100. It could be £20 in each envelope. But the main thing is to just start. I think the envelope challenge can be tweaked in many ways. I just feel that people should try. When I first started, my husband, he just laughed about it. But now I see him doing the same thing. Yeah, he's got a little safe and he puts the money in, and, you know, he says, oh, I'm retired, I don't have much. But all of his envelopes have £100 in them. I mean, he doesn't even like going to the bank because he thinks that the banks are like a headache. When you want to put money in, it's great. And when you want to take it out, it's like, what do you want it for? Sort of thing. So I think that having some kind of mechanism that works for anyone is good. It is good. And sometimes you do need live cash. It's just easier. Everyday things happen to different people, and you have things and you have to deal with. So I've got my envelopes. They're nice and bright, and I will on a monthly basis be putting the funds in them. I don't know how long they'll stay there, but the greatest thing is to try. And if I have a good month, I'm going to tell you, because I'm going to keep it real. And if it's a bad month, I'm going to tell you why it's a bad month, and what I did, how I felt, and why I didn't make it to month 2, and why I couldn't keep them. So this is it, and I hope it might be helpful. You might be thinking to yourself, oh, this lady, she's got this challenge, that challenge, this challenge. I think that being an active saver is a good thing. It just keeps you accountable and trying new strategies to save. I'm not one of those people that are going to have thousands of pounds on the table showing it to you. It's not going to happen. You're never going to see it on this channel, but I might have a couple of hundreds. So Not because it's several thousands, it doesn't mean that it's not as good as a couple of hundreds. Because, as we know, pennies make pounds and pounds have use. When I have significant funds, I like to put it where it needs to be. But I like to track it. I like to see my milestones. I want to see it. I want to see my milestones, because saving accounts, the bank gives you statements yearly, and obviously there's different apps and different saving ways. If you do things online, you can check it in a moment, and I understand all that. But there's something that appeals to me about being an active saver. You've got these jars, these things you need to address. You're not doing a 9 to 5. You're in relaxation mode. Nobody's on your back. You can do things at your own pace. And also, direct debit. It's not like a friendly word, is it? It's not. Who feels happy when they see direct debits all over the place? It doesn't cheer me up. It doesn't cheer a bone in my body. But being an active saver at home, that makes me happy. And when I've hit a milestone and taken it to the bank, that makes me feel happy. When somebody's addressing me at the bank as Mrs. Somebody, nice to see you, you're back again. Yes, that makes me feel happy. So I will always save pennies and pounds, because I think that they add up. Well, it's not even thinking, they do add up. And I can remember when my children were young, I used to take them to the bank with their coins, and they often talk about it. But now that they're older, they're actually giving me their coins. So they've flipped the script. So I'm just going to soldier on and do the things that I need to do. It is about saving challenges and story time on this challenge. So I want to keep it real. I want to be honest. I want to show you the evidence. I want to show you that it's reachable. And I want to be there to encourage, inspire, and say, if you haven't, try. Just try. If you can't save big, save small. If you can't save a note, save a coin. I just want to be as real as possible. So that's it really. Just checking in, and I hope that you've enjoyed the video, and I hope that you've taken something from it. And I hope that you'll try a challenge. They're everywhere. They're out there and everywhere. Just find maybe the simplest one and just think, well, maybe you smoke X amount, I'm going to smoke less. I'm going to put that £5 in the jar and start today. There's something about putting money in a jar and you're just seeing it rise and rise and rise and rise. There's something, I don't know, that it just gives me joy. I don't know if that's the best word to explain it. It just gives me joy. Because I remember when I first started the £5 note challenge, and there was only 2 fivers in there. My husband was laughing. He was laughing, actually laughing. He thought it was funny. But he's not laughing now, because it started to add up quite quickly. And you realise that being active and taking time and making a little effort, being committed, it makes sense. It really makes sense. So I would like to say to anybody out there, any older person like myself, any younger person, any single parent, any child, any teenager, any student, just try and try. It's rough in the streets out there, and we have to try to help ourselves. That we're not sitting at home and thinking, I've got zero. I know that there are a lot of saving apps and everything, but saving apps don't really rock my boat. I like to see it. Somebody else is seeing it, but I want to see it myself. I want it in my face. I want to go up to it, shake it, hold it, touch it, do the physical part of it. So it's come to the end of the video, and I'd like you to comment, subscribe, tell me what you think. Do you think that saving challenges are a joke? Do you think they're for kids? Do you think that they're just too many? Do you think that they're just saturated, they're everywhere? Do you think that saving in a jar is old-fashioned? It may be, You don't have to save in a jar. You can just get anything, put a label on it and just put some funds in there. But the most important thing is to start. And once you start, it will make such a difference. It will really put a smile on your face, whether it's a small amount, a large amount. I can guarantee you will be feeling a lot happier than when there was nothing. So we've come to the end of the video. So if you've enjoyed or haven't, please comment, subscribe, and tell me what you think. That's the most important thing. I'd like you to be a part of the Stash and Cash crew. I really want to be there for you guys, just to inspire and encourage. You know, I hope that we can become a bigger family and, like, you know, just get on board and do the things we need to do, because things are getting harder and harder for the best of people. So thank you very much for watching, and please like, subscribe and comment.